Our next speaker is Ashley Hagar. Ashley is majoring in communications and environmental studies, and she's going to talk to us about food labels and certifications.
Hi, as Dr. T said, I'm Ashley. I'm a fourth year environmental studies and communications double major. And today I'll be presenting a little bit about my capstone projects from last quarter. So for some context, I researched different food labels, specifically the organic label for my environmental studies capstone, and then created a guide on these different labels to inform consumers about what they mean. So for some further context, we all know that climate change is worsening, and as a result, more companies are trying to act sustainably and promote these actions to their consumers, which tends to be a result in the food labels. We also know that consumers don't necessarily understand what the environmental impact is that is associated with the food labels. And because of the lack of educational material around these, people can be confused about what they mean or just not really understand what the labels are. So these are my research questions that I looked at for my environmental studies capstone. Again, I focused primarily on organic for that, but the guide is applicable to more labels. And then my methods, I looked at some empirical studies and really identified the motivations and barriers associated with purchasing organic labels and what the motivations for these consumers were. So some of my findings were that people tend to prioritize their own health over the environmental impact, and even beyond the environmental impact, they still prioritize like price, freshness, pretty much anything except for the environmental impact. But a lot of the results were that they really focused on their own health. And then additionally, the lack of knowledge about these food labels and certifications makes consumers less likely to trust them. So from all of that research I did, I was able to create a guide on all of these different labels. And that was what my communications capstone was. And so I gathered information about each of the labels, specifically ones that Seattle U focuses on in their purchasing and what they're offering. I also tailored it a little bit more to Seattle U by including the new climate label that Red Hawk Dining implemented this year. So I have a little bit more information about that on this slide, and even the food that you're eating today has these labels associated with them. So these are in C Street on the tables behind us. And then I also just have more information about all of these on the CEGS website. Each label goes into more depth about what it means, how they're certified, what the environmental impact actually is, so that consumers can better understand what these labels are, since they can tend to be very confusing. I guess some time. Where's the mouse? Not sure if I. So, okay. Oh my gosh. This is what my guide looks like on the CEGS website. So there's a little overview, the climate label at Seattle U, and then just more information about each of the label that I looked at. So yeah, it's all on the CEGS website if anyone wants to look at it. Also, I'm available for questions afterwards about any of this.